Hello everyone, hello everybody. Once more, you are welcome to my channel. A couple of days ago, I made a video on how Elon Musk made a statement confirming the imminency of the rapture. And some people were like, wow. Sometimes it's very, very surprising to see how Christians are distracted from the reality about spirituality, about eschatology, and how people who are considered the busiest people of the world, people who are involved deep, 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 deep into politics or business, can give a moment to think and to say very important things, very, very deep things concerning Christianity. I was very, very surprised when I heard that from the mouth of Elon Musk. We all know whom Elon Musk is. And today I'm going to present you another surprising video. And this one from former US President Donald Trump, who confirms that rapture is something that is going to happen very, very soon. And if we are not surprised, I'm surprised even to learn that President Trump is from the Presbyterian Church. He's a Protestant. And besides his ambitions, he is very, 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 very outspoken that Christians should be ready for the rapture. Take a look yourself. God bless you.
Elon Musk and now the former U.S. President Donald Trump confirmed that the rapture is going to happen very soon. Yes, you heard that right. So is rapture really happening soon? Let's dive into this video to know what he had to say about this intriguing topic. So let's get ready to explore this fascinating revelation together today. Donald Trump spoke about his belief in God. He said that he believes in God and he's a Christian. Specifically, he's a Protestant and more precisely, a Presbyterian. He's proud of his faith and considers it a middle-of-the-road kind of Christianity. He mentions that he's unsure about Seventh-day Adventists' beliefs. Trump claims to have a strong relationship with God and the evangelical Christian community. He goes to church regularly, especially on important Christian holidays like Christmas and Easter and Sundays. He believes in doing the right thing so he doesn't have to ask for forgiveness. When he's in church, he takes part in the ritual of communion with wine and a cracker as a way of seeking forgiveness and feeling cleansed. He also emphasizes the importance of the Bible in his life. He calls it his favorite book and thinks it's incredible. When asked whether he prefers the Old Testament or the New Testament, he says he's probably equal, and he references specific verses like Proverbs, which talks about not giving in to envy, and 2 Corinthians chapter 3 verse 17, which he sees as significant. In his view, there's nothing more important than God, who he believes is the ultimate creator of everything. Message to Christians. Former U.S. President Donald Trump recently shared a Christmas message with Christians, highlighting the significance of Jesus Christ to the American people. He recalled the ancient message to shepherds over 2,000 years ago, announcing the birth of a Savior in the city of David, who is Christ the Lord. Trump acknowledged that our country is in need of a Savior, clarifying that he is not that Savior. With a sense of urgency, he emphasized that someone much higher than him holds the role of Savior, hinting at the belief that the world's end, known as the Rapture, is approaching. He stated, "That's somebody else much higher up than me, much higher." Continuing his message, Trump credited key moments in history to the church and the example set by Jesus. The life, death, and resurrection of Jesus Christ profoundly changed the world. He stressed the impossibility of imagining our nation's history without considering the influence of Jesus' teachings and his example. He further reminded us that Jesus Christ is the ultimate source of strength and hope for all time, both here and everywhere. Trump, through his message, defined the enduring importance of Jesus Christ in American culture and history, indirectly pointing to the belief in the profound impact of Jesus on the world, including the anticipation of the rapture as a significant event in Christian mythology. So what is rapture? The rapture is a belief in Christianity that one day, both living and dead believers will go to heaven to meet Jesus when he comes back. This idea came from the expectation that Jesus would come back to save all members of the church. However, the word rapture isn't in the Bible. In one of his letters, the Apostle Paul talked about the Lord coming from heaven, and a trumpet will sound before dead believers rise. After that, those who are still alive will be taken up to meet the Lord in the air. Belief in the rapture is often linked to the idea of a 1,000-year rule by Jesus after he returns, as mentioned in the book of Revelation. Some people think this will happen before a time of trouble on earth, while others believe it will come after. This belief has been influenced by different interpretations and theological ideas throughout history. In the 16th century, some emphasized the future fulfillment of end-time prophecies. The Great Awakening in the 18th century and the Second Great Awakening in the 19th century spread ideas about the millennium and the return of Christ. In modern times, especially during the Cold War when there was a fear of nuclear war, the rapture prophecy gained popularity. It also appeared in popular culture, like the chick pamphlets and the Left Behind books and movies. People have even tried to predict specific dates for the rapture, but these predictions have often been proven wrong. What happens in rapture? Jesus gave a promise that he would return to earth to take his followers with him. He reassured them, saying, "Let not your heart be troubled. You believe in God, believe also in me. In my Father's house are many mansions. If it were not so, I would have told you. I am going to prepare a place for you. And if I go and prepare a place for you, I will come again and receive you to myself, that where I am, there you may be also." John chapter 14, verses 1-3. Some interpret these words to mean that Jesus will return secretly and rapture his people from earth, leaving others behind. However, Jesus didn't specify how he would return in these verses. Other parts of the Bible clarify what will happen when he returns. After Jesus rose from the dead, he ascended to heaven, and his disciples watched as he went up into the sky. The Bible explains, "While they watched, Jesus was taken up, and a cloud received him out of their sight. And while they looked steadfastly toward heaven as he went up, behold, two men, angels, stood by them in white apparel, who also said, 'Men of Galilee, why do you stand gazing up into heaven? This same Jesus who was taken up from you into heaven will come in like manner as you saw him go into heaven.'" Acts chapter 1, verses 9-11. These verses highlight two important points. First, when Jesus returns a second time, it will be the same Jesus who lived on earth and ascended to heaven after his resurrection. Second, he will return in the same way, in like manner, as he ascended to heaven. So how did Jesus ascend to heaven after his resurrection? He did it visibly and bodily in front of his disciples, until a cloud hid him from their view. Rapture can happen anytime soon. First, the rapture is considered a signless event. Unlike the second coming, which has various signs and events that must occur beforehand, the rapture has no such prerequisites. This is known as the doctrine of imminency, meaning it could happen at any moment. Nothing in God's prophetic plan needs to take place before the rapture. While other events may occur, they are not necessary conditions for the rapture to happen. Therefore, we cannot predict when it will occur. It could be today or many years from now. Christians are encouraged to live in a state of readiness, prepared to meet their Savior at any given moment. Second, the rapture is designed to be a surprise event. Despite numerous predictions and speculations about the timing of the rapture, Jesus' own words in Matthew chapter 24, verses 36-39, emphasize that no one, not even Jesus or the angels, knows the exact time of his return. Only God the Father knows when it will happen. This element of uncertainty compels believers to remain vigilant and ready at all times, as they cannot know when Jesus will come for his church. And finally, the rapture is described as a sudden event in the Bible. In 1 Corinthians chapter 15, verse 52, the Apostle Paul wrote that the rapture will occur in a moment, in the twinkling of an eye. This phrase suggests an incredibly brief and instantaneous event, like the time it takes for light to reflect off the retina of one's eye. In less than a nanosecond, believers will be called to meet the Lord. Second, despite many attempts to predict the date of the rapture, Matthew chapter 24, verses 36-39 makes it clear that no one, including Jesus and the angels, knows the exact timing of this event. This element of uncertainty underscores the idea that the rapture could happen at any moment, catching people by surprise. Additionally, 1 Thessalonians chapter 4 verse 16 describes the rapture as a moment when the Lord himself will descend from heaven with a shout, the voice of an archangel, and the trumpet of God. These descriptions are not separate sounds, but rather one sound described in 3 different ways. This sound will carry authoritative power like a shout, the majestic voice of an archangel, and the unmistakable clarity of a trumpet blast. It's important to note that this sound will be heard only by those who have trusted Christ as their Savior. What do you think of the signs of rapture and Trump's belief? Comment below.